Hello everyone, so I am just recording this video super quick about the Pythagorean Theorem. So this is a topic that you guys might have heard before, possibly in your algebra class, possibly back in middle school at some point, but you probably didn't go super in depth with it. So the Pythagorean Theorem sounds scary. It's not. Pythagoras was someone's name, some ancient mathematician that discovered this theorem. So what this theorem says is that if a triangle is a right triangle, meaning it has a 90-degree angle, so something like this, then it's true always that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So this is your golden equation, okay? I want you guys to always remember this. This is something that will be pretty much ingrained in your brains. So this is our outcome number 4, so our fourth standard of this class. So it's Pythagorean Theorem. The standard is listed up here if you ever want to refer back to that. So the two shorter sides of the triangle are called legs. Always, those are the short sides. So that would be this one and this one. And those are always labeled A and B. Now the longest side is called the hypotenuse, and that thing's always going to be labeled C. So it's the longest side, and most of the time it looks slanted, not always, depending on how the picture is drawn. But it's always the longest side, and it's also always right across from the right angle. Okay, so that is always labeled C, and it's called the hypotenuse. That's really all the background information that you need to know for this theorem. So group A, when you guys are seeing this, you would have already learned about the Pythagorean Theorem a little bit in class on Monday. Group B, I'm mostly recording this video for you guys because you are seeing this before you're seeing it in class. So this is our first new topic, shouldn't be too painful. I'm going to go through a couple examples with you guys on this homework assignment. That way you can kind of get the ball rolling and see an example and maybe kind of mimic that for another problem. So I'm going to do number 3 simply because it looks the scariest compared to all of these other triangles. So when we are doing the Pythagorean Theorem, I want you guys to follow these steps that I'm going to write down. So step 1 is to label your sides. And when I say that, I mean label them A, B, and C. Okay, so remember, sides A and B are the legs, or the shorter sides, and side C is always the hypotenuse, which is the long slanted side. So when I'm looking at this triangle, right here, what's difficult is that it doesn't look the same as like this one up here. So it's kind of harder to see which side is the slanted side. However, remember, you can always look across from your right angle. So I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to say, okay, here's my right angle. Directly across from it is always what the hypotenuse is. So this side I have to label C because that is the hypotenuse. And it is the long slanted side. It's longer than this one, and you can see that by the measurement. We don't know X, but clearly that side is the longest. So that means if that one's C, this one's going to be A and B. It does not matter which one you label A and which one you label B. They're both legs. You can switch them around. I could have called X A and I could have called 11.9 B. It really does not matter. But that's step 1, is to label your sides. Step 2 is to write your equation. What I mean by that is write the Pythagorean Theorem. Okay, so remember, you can check back up here if you forget. You guys will have this memorized in no time, I promise. The equation is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, and then step 3 is to plug your values in. Okay, what are my values? So I'm going to look up here and I'm going to think, okay, what did I label side A? Well, that is 11.9. So then down here, when I'm plugging things in, where I see an A, I'm going to say, okay, that's 11.9. And you have to remember to put that squared up there. If you don't square your values, you're always going to get the Pythagorean theorem wrong. You have to square your values. So it can't just be 11.9. It's 11.9 to the second power. And then I need to see, okay, what did I label side length B? So I'm going to look over here. What did I label B? Well, that's X. So where I see B, I'm going to plug in X. So B becomes X. And then which one did I label C? That was 14.7. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to say equals 14.7 squared. Okay, now we can just solve it like a normal equation. So step 4 is solve for X or whatever value you are missing. So I'm going to take my calculator and I'm going to type in 11.9 to the second power, which is really just 11.9 squared. So that would be, 11.9 times 11.9. So that simplifies to be 141.61. Nothing happens with the x squared. And then I want to check what is 14.7 to the second power. So you can just type in 14.7 squared or 14.7 times 14.7. So that is 216.09. And now I know I need to get this thing right here by itself. So I'm just going to subtract like I normally would in a normal equation. So over here, that cancels out. Then I'm going to do 216.09 minus 141.61, which is 74.48. And then over here, I still have x squared. Okay, this is where a lot of people will just try to tell me that this is their final answer. The issue is that we want x by itself. We do not want it to be squared as our final answer. So I have to undo the square root. So to undo the square, which I just told you guys the answer. To undo the square, we have to square root. So that's that little thing that looks like this. So there should be a button like that on your calculator. What you want to do is you want to push that button, and you want to take the square root of 74.48, because we have to do this to both sides of the equation. So this is something you want to always remember. To undo the square root, to undo the square, we have to square root it. I keep saying that wrong. So we want to get x by itself. We want to get rid of that little squared. So I'm going to do 74.48. And if you're doing this on like your iPhone calculator or the iPad calculator, type in the number first, and then you should see the square button, the square root button. It looks like this on your iPhone. So this is how I'm doing it right now. This is what the button looks like on the iPhone or the iPad. So I get that x equals 8.63. And you guys can just stop at 2 decimal points. So that's my final answer. Okay, so that might seem like a lot right now. That's going to end up seeming very simple once you are comfortable with this equation. Okay, so label your sides, A, B, and C. That's really important. Write your equation, write the Pythagorean theorem, plug in your values, and then solve for x. And remember to undo a square root, or to undo a square. Guys, I'm going to say that wrong every single time. We just square root it. Okay? So that's number 3. 1, 2, and 4 are all very, very similar to that one. So I'm going to move on so I can show you a different type of problem. 5 and 6 are also very similar. 7 and 8, don't be confused. I'm going to help you set up number 7. Don't be confused just because there's not a triangle there. So I think that might be what confuses people with this kind of question. But all they're saying is find this missing side. So remember, A and B are the legs. So this is a leg, and this is a leg. C is the hypotenuse, which is the long side. You know your equation is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I'm just going to plug in what's given to me, which is a and c. So I have 11 squared. I don't know b, so that's going in as b squared, and then 15 squared. And you're going to solve it like a normal equation. So these ones are exactly the same, except they don't give you a diagram. They just give you numbers. So you have to remember that C is the long side. And again, number 8 is the exact same way. So I want to show you one story problem, or at least draw the picture for you in one story problem. So we are going to understand that the Pythagorean theorem is not only applicable to right triangles on paper in a math class, it's also applicable to real life problems, which is really nice because a lot of times it's hard to see, well, how is this math related to me? Like, how am I ever going to use this in the real world? So this is a good example of where we might see math outside of the classroom. So this problem says we have a wheelchair ramp with a length of 122 inches that has a horizontal distance of 120 inches. So what we need to do is first draw a picture, and then we'll be able to solve the equation. So we need to draw a picture that represents the situation. That's part A. To do that, we need to understand what the situation is. So we're going to look at each word. A wheelchair ramp. When you think of a ramp, you should think of something that's at an incline. A ramp is always at an incline. So most likely that's going to be our slanted side or our hypotenuse. Okay, and then it says it has a horizontal distance of 120 inches. That word horizontal is really, really important. We need to think, what does horizontal mean? Well, that means it looks like this, side to side, instead of up and down. Up and down would be vertical. So side to side is our horizontal distance. With that in mind, I'm going to draw my picture. So I have this wheelchair ramp. Here's my ramp. So let's say here's where they would start. Here's the ramp if I'm going down. This is how they go up the ramp. This would be how they went down the ramp. Okay, and it has a horizontal distance of 120 inches. Horizontal means this part. Okay, you guys are always going to draw a right triangle in some way. So this is my ramp, which is 122 inches. And this is my horizontal distance, which is 120 inches. The question is saying, what is the ramp's vertical distance, which, like I just said, is up and down. So this is what I'm trying to find. That's what I don't know. So label what you're trying to find as some variable. Here's my right angle. Now I need to use what I know about the Pythagorean theorem to solve for that vertical distance. So we just have to kind of dissect the words that are in the problem. And again, you could have drawn the triangle the opposite way. You could have drawn the ramp going this way. This would still be your horizontal distance, and then you're still trying to find this. So it's the exact same picture, just kind of flipped the other way. But the math doesn't change. So what I would say for when you're drawing diagrams for Pythagorean theorem problems is draw a right triangle. That's always going to be your first step because no matter what, it's going to be a right triangle if you're dealing with Pythagorean theorem. So that means draw something like this with a right angle. Step 2 is going to be that you have to dissect the story problem. So that's what we did up here. We figured out, okay, horizontal means side to side. We figured out a ramp would have to be something slanted. So dissect the story problem and label your sides. So label your sides of the triangle. That is how we kind of set up these story problems. So it's, again, always going to be a right triangle, and then dissect your story problem, label your sides, and then you can just solve like normal. So this looks similar to something we saw in the first part that I just showed you. So I'm going to set it up. I'm going to label my sides A, B, and C, and then I'm going to plug it into my Pythagorean theorem and solve for the missing side. So I'm going to let you guys do that, but remember, A and B are the legs, and C is the hypotenuse, which is the long side that's across from the right angle. Always, always, always across from 90-degree angle. which is the guy that looks like this in the corner of your triangle. Okay, that is what I have for you for today. Do your best on the rest of this homework. We will talk about it in class. We'll go over any questions that you have. Again, this won't be due until Friday of this week. Okay, but this is just your Monday assignment, Monday, Tuesday, kind of an intro. And again, we'll go over it plenty in class. Okay, so your last couple of problems, you have a story problem, and then you have something that's just going to get you to kind of analyze what the Pythagorean theorem is. So just for number 12, read the problem and do your best. Remember, that's all I need, is I need your best effort put forward at all times. And you guys are doing an awesome job. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you on Monday or Tuesday.